We are here at Bomas of Kenya, and I am now joined by the Mombasa outgoing governor, Hassan Joho. How are you doing today, sir?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for asking. And what are you doing here today, and how has been your experience here this day?
Obviously, first of all, I'm here as a representative of my party. I am indeed an observer on behalf of my candidate and political party. So I've been here for the last 2 or 3 days or so, observing what's going on and whether it conforms to what the law demands or the regulations that are in place. So for me, I'm here just to see that the right thing is done.
So yesterday I interviewed the outgoing Kakamega governor, Wycliffe Oparanya, and he said that the process, IBC, is too slow. Do you agree with his sentiments?
I think, first of all, it is important to get it right. And then there are provisions in the constitutions that stipulate the timing, which is 7 days post-election. We are now, I think, on the 5th or 6th. So I would be worried if we're going into the 7th with a lower percentage of performance. But we are informed, as it were, we're almost over 50% or so. Obviously, we'd ask them to expedite and do, or maybe hasten the process. But I think the fundamental issue is to get it right. Get it right. So the true wishes, it must reflect the true wishes of the people of Kenya. Yeah.
And now that you are here today, we saw one of the IBC commissioners, Prof. Abdi Gulier, actually instruct that personnel that is not necessary to evacuate the tallying center, which probably meant politicians as well. Do you think that this was a good decision, and why do you think that they made this decision as a commission?
I don't know why specifically they may have made that decision, but let us appreciate the IBC here. IBC is here because of politicians. We go out there to seek votes. We get elected, and they are facilitators for that to happen. So there's absolutely no way you can disconnect politicians from this process. Like I said, I may not know the reasons as to why they opted to take that route, but obviously it is important that the politicians are a part and parcel of the process, because we are the cause as to why they're here. We're the reason as to why they're here. Yeah.
Okay. And today, Azimio la Umoja had an inaugural ceremony at KICC. Were you present?
Very much so.
During the ceremony, there were statements that were made that were kind of assuring that there is a victory in Azimio la Umoja. IBC has not announced any winner. Do you feel like this was correct? Because there's a question of we have to let IBC do their mandate, but there's also the question of Azimio la Umoja seem extremely confident. Martha Karua actually said there is no way that their tallying will contradict with your tallying. Do you think this was a very good, a good comment to make, or rather reckless? Because, I mean, if things don't go Azimio la Umoja's way, what would happen? So my question is, do you think that it was a good idea for them to actually have this, be very confident in saying this sentiment?
First of all, we've had our opponents say the same thing. But let me enlighten you a little bit. Electioneering process or voting is arithmetics. It is numbers. 1 + 1 + 4 + 5, like that. And every serious candidate in any election must have the ability or the capacity to be able to project the number of votes by way of internal tally. We have done that. And that is why we did not announce, we did not call it for ourselves, but we said we're confident. And I can confirm. I want to reaffirm that position here, that we are confident we will carry the day. What happens here in Bomas is to re-verify the process. What has been presented by the IBC officials on the ground vis-a-vis what we have and what our opponents have. Obviously, there could be instances where there's mistakes, numbers that people don't agree upon, but we have our own tally. Yeah.
What happens if whatever Wafula Chebukati announces is not what you're expecting.
That won't happen because we know.
You're that sure?
Yeah, we know numbers. And then let me tell you something. Like I said, it is arithmetic. It's very simple. It is that number plus that other number, and you get results, right? What happens, unless something drastic happens, for example, this is a verification process that is being undertaken here today, okay? If you find that there are numbers that do not match what had been earlier reported, that's another conversation altogether, all right? Like it is, I hear, and let's be clear, that in some polling station there were votes that were added to some people. That obviously what you want to achieve when you come here is to clean that up. So maybe something drastic that happens, but I can tell you, according to our calculations, hey, my friend, yeah.
As journalists, our responsibility is to preach peace, and I'm passing that baton to you. What is your message to Kenyans as they wait?
I mean, like I was probably one of the first people to go out on social media and say, whatever it may be, we must coexist. We must, as a country, be able to live together. This is a process of politics. It should not divide us. It should be based on ideologies and nothing else. So for me, I want to see a country that enjoys peace, a country that enjoys tranquility, a country that appreciates our diversity and coexist well together. So peace, 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 peace. It has to be peaceful. It has to be peaceful.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Bless.